What's going on, fam? LAR movement still moving. Her book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle. Create space link in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled Why Athletes Should Protest, or Why Black Athletes Should Protest. I saw WNBA walking off the court at the anthem, but I also saw MLB. Some people were on the knee, some people were standing up, yada yada yada. And I'm sure this is going to happen at the NBA games, and I've seen articles in NFL games also. And I thought about this because black athletes should protest. And one of the reasons why I'm going to say why is because of the money. Because let's be honest, Black Lives Matter, right? That extends to athletes. That extends to these high school athletes who are bringing money into these high schools. That extends to these college athletes who are bringing money into these colleges and universities, rather. However you want to slice it, colleges and universities. You know, they bring money to all of these companies who use these events with these athletes, predominantly black athletes in America, to make money. Do those kids get a kickback? No. Do those kids get paid? No. And then when they go to, if they're fortunate enough to become a professional athlete, you tell the 1% who made it, you made it. But you use the other 99% for money anyways. So if black athletes want to protest, so be it. The other thing about that is, it's kind of interesting, going back to, you don't see black athletes getting upset when you have when they have to represent other ethnicities. You don't see black athletes tripping when it's Hispanic Heritage Month, and I don't see white America tripping when Hispanic Heritage Month come out and they change the logos, and it's in respect to Hispanic ethnicity or culture. They do it somewhat in basketball now with China. I don't see people, oh my God, it's Chinese stuff. I don't see that. You get what I'm saying? I don't see that when it comes to the LGBT community. I don't see that. And, it's rainbow this, it's rainbow that. I don't see people, when breast cancer comes out and everybody's wearing pink, that's important. You don't see, and even when mental health awareness, they allow them to wear the green. I don't see an issue. Because it's all to bring awareness, per se. So what you're saying is black lives are important. Because let me add into that the military one too. Nobody has a problem with that, right? But here's the thing. That you want the very race of people who put butts in the seats to be for everybody else's group, but not their own. That in itself is the number one reason I feel like you should protest. Yeah, you got a platform, you can speak protest, because they're not going to tell you to stop being a positive representation for somebody else's group of ethnicity. They're not going to tell you to stop that. But when it comes to your own group, it's a problem. Ironically, look at all the years that you had athletes in the South playing under a Confederate flag? Did all of these, all of these coaches or schools, universities, coaches, businesses who were using those moments as advertising moments? Did the people selling apparel have an issue with that? Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Puma, nobody had an issue with that, right? These places were still making money and being productive in society, knowing what that stood for, knowing that these black athletes were playing in these situations, whether they actually went to those schools or if they came from a different school and they wind up playing in that state. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wind up playing in that area. The other thing is, yes, these athletes should protest because the same, you say these men and women are not oppressed. They're rich. They're winning in life, right? They have nothing to have an objection to. I mean, they're one of the special ones. They're living the good life. But aren't these the same athletes that you'll call all type of racial slurs when they playing? See, you paid your tickets to get up on these guys and call them all these names. See, people forget all the people who are in the first row, courtside. All those people ain't just cheering for their team or the cheering or booing the opposing team. We have this weird double-minded thing where, I don't see why these guys are protesting, but because but my favorite player is black. One of my favorite team is full of black players. I cheer for them every game. But what about the opposing team that comes to town? What do you call those black players? Especially the ones that you hate. You get what I'm saying? Not necessarily hate because of race, but you hate them because they're from a rival team or they're just not, an opposing team. So what do? You go straight to the racial thing. The reason I'm talking about this is I even saw the Boston Red Sox put up a Black Lives Matter thing, right? And people was like, oh, this is BS. But recently, even the Red Sox had to say, man, for years people have been, you know how we get down in Fenway. I'm saying Fenway, I think it's a new stadium now, but it might not be. But people knew how people got down in Boston. The same way they act, don't assume it's just the Red Sox fans. Celtics fans, you know what I'm saying? Patriot fans, it's the same thing. Same thing. And they have to deal with that the same way when they leave, Boston and they go other places. They get that same type of treatment if they go somewhere else. California, Arizona, maybe even Washington, Missouri, I forget if Kansas. Yeah, I think it's Kansas City, Missouri, where the Chiefs are at. But Chicago, New Orleans, it happens. So you don't want these people to protest, but you want them to deal with a society that's using their dollars to also be racist. You get what I'm saying? So if they want to protest. When people go, I don't understand. I don't see the problem. This is a free country. You're right. This is the problem that people have who are black athletes. This is a free country. So you're free to do any disrespectful thing that you want to do under your First Amendment right or under your Second Amendment right. See, you free to call this guy a racial slur, this woman a racial slur. You free to pick a fight with somebody and then pull a gun on them because of their race and say protecting yourself. And for people who are this far in the video and say that doesn't happen, I made a video about that years ago because a guy, while I was driving my car, he hit my car and then and when I pulled off of the road, you know, for him to pull off too to get his information, he drove off, but I wound up walking right up to him because he got caught up at a light and he was sitting there with a gun. This happens. This doesn't, you know, if I'm jogging down the street and I'm not a black athlete, you get what I'm saying? You know, you protest with people like Steve Foley or Joe McKnight. See, people forget about those things. But, yeah, I'm done with this one. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.